When making outbound calls, there's a couple of tips that you can do to get better results. The first tip is if you're using a handset, don't hang up until you've actually made an appointment. What generally happens is staff are continually ringing, hanging up, picking up the phone, dialing, hanging up, and it can be such a negative action just to continually put the hand down. So I call it a hot phone. So it's a hot phone and it's actively in your hand the whole time until you actually generate an appointment when making an outbound phone call. The second point is if you don't have a handset, it actually is a great idea to use a headset. That way you can get up, walk around, increase your mood, and it's a great way to increase the tone of your voice and clear your thinking a bit if you've got to cover objections over the phone as well. My third point would be to use the phrase "really, why not." I had a call from a company trying to book an appointment, saying they'd have a consultant in the area, and straight away after they did their little pitch about what they were doing, I said no, and they just said okay and hung up. If they were at that point with to say really, why not? Summer's coming. It'd be great to have shutters in the house. Have you got any areas that, have sun coming in on the lounge, for example, and might deteriorate the furniture? And if they actually, were doing better needs analysis with me, I'll be more likely to find that there may be a need for the product and book an appointment. So the term "really, why not" is a bit of a play on words, and it's a bit of fun and makes the person think and says, well, I don't have a need for shutters, or I don't have the need for your product, and that's fair enough. But otherwise, if you keep continuing to talk about it, it shows that you're passionate about your product, and it's not just a call. It felt like such a service call, or such a sales call, I should say, for that matter, when they just hung up straight away after I spoke. So, it really wasn't 100% passion, and it wasn't like they believed in their product. Then I've got another terminology, which is, or a phrase that you should think about, is instead of it being yes and no, it's just yes or not yet. So that way it makes you not feel like the no is rejection. It just might be a not yet, not necessarily a no. So find all the people out there that need your product and need your services, and that the yeses are great, but the ones that don't want to book in with you or don't want to make an appointment at the moment, maybe it's just a not yet. The other thing I want to talk about is different times of the day to call. So, I've had such mixed results at different times. You could be having a great appointment or call to an appointment closing rate during a certain time of the day, and the next day you've got nothing. So my feedback is to continually just call all different times of the day. Don't really have any set rules around it, especially dinner time, because I've polled hundreds and hundreds of people, and their dinner time ranges from 5:30 till 10 o'clock at night. So that's a big window. And what 8 o'clock might be a bad time for somebody else, for someone that's got small children and they're off to bed, they may be able to talk to you. So, the best thing is just to jump on the phone, explain who you are and where you're from, and then if the person's got any need whatsoever for your product, or they can just start talking further, or they can just say no, it's not a great time. So get on the phone, make some outbound phone calls. The phone is an amazing thing, because nowadays we're so focused on text messaging, emails, QR codes, websites, that the interaction one-on-one is becoming minimal. So if you're out there making a few outbound phone calls, you'll find that you are going to be making a point of difference, and you will be making some appointments. And if you've got a business that is either high class, in a high demographic, or says that you're a personal business that taps into service and giving great service, then I think the phone call is the place to show that, rather than just sending some text messages out. In communication, everything's important, but I still think there's a massive role for outbound phone calls with generating new clients.